Hi everybody, Julia Stock, Business Revolutionary with Be Astute, continuing with our A to Z of vocabulary around all things to do with training and skills. This week is O. It has to be for observations, really. And I know this is one that again sounds like it's a little bit obvious. Observations are really exciting in terms of being able to see what learners can do in practice. We have to remember that we are assessing competence in the workplace. So even where curricula such as apprenticeships are moving away from the delivery of qualifications towards the preparation for endpoint assessment, actually having a strategy that requires staff to go out and observe learners in the workplace can tell us stuff around what they're really doing and how competent they really are, and it helps us to assess how close they are to endpoint assessment. Gives us as a provider understanding of what that learner's really doing in practice. Yes, you can understand a lot from how they are in the classroom, but sometimes stuff just makes more sense when we go out and visit. From a quality assurance perspective, we cannot underestimate the power of a quality observation. Yes, they are required by awarding bodies. Yes, they're required by Ofsted. And it's interesting to see the Ofstedification of a lot of observation paperwork and a lot of the things that providers are asking for within observations. A lot of insistence on covering the things that Ofsted find exciting. Now, when you're doing it and your point and purpose is to do it to keep Ofsted happy, that makes total sense. But it can lead us to miss the point and purpose in terms of reflecting and understanding what is good. I always like a cheeky performance standard. It allows us as business leaders to be defining what we consider to be good. What is a really neat solution in terms of delivery of prevent? What is a really neat bit of extension? What does that look like, feel like, smell like? Because then it makes our observations have more power. It also means that we can use those performance standards as a training tool in order to push staff to be ever more marvelous, and constantly whining at people about spelling and grammar and prevent and British values and all of these things. While it's important, and it is important, fundamentally, spelling, grammar, British values, prevent, don't make amazing teaching in and of themselves. We are there to teach a subject. We are there to make sure that learners are competent in that subject. And that's our primary focus. And observations are a great way of doing that. So when we're out observing, so we want to be observing people teaching, absolutely, because that is the beginning of the assessment process. If we get teaching right, learning is going to happen, and that learning is likely to be of a better quality. But we have to get the instructions to learners right. It's interesting how few providers observe people marking work. And I always found this one of the most interesting observations to do, to be asking people, why are you doing it like that? Because then with our IQA hat on, and we're seeing work coming in, and we're going, why did you miss that? Why have you picked up on that? Why have you done it that way? Well, by going out and observing and asking that question, and yes, your assessor is going to put on a show and show you that they know what best practice looks like, but it's still giving you an opportunity to go, why are you doing it that way? And I've done observations, and I've been on the receiving end of observations where people have asked me, why have I done it that way? And I've asked the same question, and it creates enormous understanding that then makes life run more smoothly. You can actually get a calming down of some potential conflicts, which is a great outcome. If all we're doing is sampling at the back end, we're losing all of our opportunity to influence practice. And if all we're doing is whining about spelling and grammar and prevent and British values in order to demonstrate to Ofsted and awarding bodies that we're on it and we're not really picking up on anything else and we're not really looking to drive performance in anything else, it's a bit of a wasted opportunity, really, isn't it? Same as we should be doing observations of learner sign-ups, we should be doing observations of progress reviews. Every bit of performance between a member of our team and a learner should be part of our standard quality assurance measures, whether or not they're overtly required by Ofsted or an awarding body or not. It's fundamentally good practice and helps us understand what our staff are doing in our name. Yes, again, people are going to put on a show, but it's amazing how many times people show you their true selves when they're being observed. They're not putting that much thought into it. It's a good reflection and gives us good insight into what's working and what's not working. So that's O for observations. Definitely worth the effort. I would really appreciate any thoughts and comments that you have on the joys of observations in your comments after this. Thank you very much.